I don't even think people are ready. I don't even think people are ready for this sweater. Thank you for joining me for episode 4 of the Okayest Knitter Knitting Podcast. My name is Sarah, and I am a knitter living in Missoula, Montana. And here we are. Here we are. I have decided to put videos on the internet, and some people seem to be watching them, which is super cool to me. Anyway, if you watched any of my previous episodes, I greatly thank you. If you are joining me for the first time today, welcome. It's a little bit of a shit show, I'm going to be honest. I don't always have it together, and more often than not, I end up having to re-record. So, all of that aside, I'm getting good vibes today because everything seems to be going my way. I've got my awesome earrings on. I'm wearing a really awesome lip, and it's so hard for me to not just talk about it right off the top. But anyhow, welcome, thank you, blah, blah, blah. Hello. So, knitting these last 2 weeks since I was podcasting has gone a little bit better. Although not very fast, because I had a project on the needles that I did not particularly enjoy, but I'll get more into that later. But for now, I think I'm going to switch up the flow. I'm going to start with whips because dun, da, 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 I'm wearing a whip. And if you watched my first episode, this may or may not look familiar. This is my Turtle Dove 2. It is by Espostrico, and I was able in the mail to get some more of the Drops brushed alpaca silk in the off-white colorway. It shipped from Lithuania. Sorry, I'm trying to show you, but I think last time I showed it, I was maybe up here, and I had run out of yarn. So I've knit all the way down, split the hem. I have yet to pick up the sleeves, but I plan to do that. So this Drops alpaca, I'll show you a picture, or not a picture of it, the actual thing. This is what it is. And it arrived in the mail from Lithuania. I bought it off of Etsy, and I actually bought a ton of it off of Etsy because if you purchase $35, it was free shipping to the US. So about $35 worth, which turned out to be 10 little balls of this, which was really economical when you think about it, because I didn't pay for shipping. Could have gotten it faster from somewhere else, but I got it cheaper, and it's the same thing, and I'm okay with that. So I love it. So the colors that I'm using, like I said, I've previously discussed, but the colors I'm using are this off-white Drops brushed alpaca silk by Drops, which is I think a European-based yarn company, and it's super soft. So that's what's making everything look so that's what's giving everything this halo that you're seeing here. Special thanks to my pimple. But what I'm holding it with is this lovely, super cool yarn from Lolo Did It. This is in the Simply Worsted, and this is a Harry Potter colorway. This is a Honeydukes. Yes, this is the Honeydukes colorway. So I'm very pleased. This is now, I am on this would be my fifth skein, because I have 2 more still in the skein itself. I haven't wound those yet. So this will be my 5th skein to pick up and start on my sleeve. So I might get away with doing 5 or 6 skeins in this sweater. And if I do, I'm very happy with that. But you can see I've rolled down the neck. In the pattern, it has it up, but I was just, I was getting ready. I was putting on my lip gloss, and I rolled it down, and I really liked that look. But I also really like the look of when the turtleneck is all the way up. Like, this is like, to me, this speaks like it's 30 degrees outside. I've got a hot glass of apple cider with a little bit of Fireball in it, and I'm just out there. I'm snuggling in my turtle dove, sipping on my drinks. But right now, since it's just about to become 80 degrees outside, because we had a couple really nice cool days, but now we're back in the 80s because it's Montana and everything's unpredictable, and also global warming. So anyway, I really like it, and I like it folded down too. I really like the construction so far as well. I could probably talk about this forever, but I made another one of these in a Lion Brand yarn, but I'm really liking how this is knitting up. I really like the drop sleeve. The pattern recommends it like 12 to 15 inches of positive ease, which I did with my first finished object in this pattern, and it just was too bulky for me. So I'm actually knitting a size 2. I'm knitting this in a size 2, which should give me about 5 inches of positive ease, and I feel like it's thus far very flattering. Once I block it, I'm sure it'll be even more flattering. So I'm very excited. I love it so much. So in all honesty, I might finish this tonight. I might finish it tomorrow. I really wanted to try and finish it for the podcast, but it didn't happen because I got the yarn on Thursday, and I ended up finishing up another project yesterday morning. And then we're looking at selling our home, so we had a lot of errands to run yesterday during the day. I usually work Monday through Thursday, and so Fridays are kind of a errand running day. Anyhow, I can't tell. My phone screen is really cracked to hell, so I keep thinking that I've got something on my forehead, but it's just a crack. It's not a wrinkle. That's what I'll keep telling myself. So thus far with this, each skein of Lolo Did It is about $26 a piece. So $26 a skein I've used 4 thus far, wound the 5th. I have 2 more downstairs still in the skein. So this is not a cheap project by any stretch of the imagination. So this is a very luxurious knit. I am looking at purchasing some of the Drops Air, which is what is called for in this pattern. And if you look on Etsy or you look on the Espostrico website, you can find that for like, I don't know, $7 for a ball of it. And I think for a size 3 or 4, it's about 10 balls that it's called for. So that would be way more reasonable than what I'm doing right now, and almost wish that I would have done that. Anyway, I didn't do that. Here I am, but I love it so much. I really like the colors and the speckles. Like, it reminds me of a candy shop. I really like it. But I think I should move on to some finished objects. So I spent a lot of time. I'm going to start with my smaller one first, because I want to leave the larger one for the end. So I finished this yesterday, and it's still a little damp, but look at that. Is that not the most beautiful fall thing you've ever seen? So this is a pattern by, you guessed it, Jody Miller. Mrs. Brown's Bags. This is the slipped rib hat. This is the 5th one, or the 6th one I've made. I really like this pattern. I think it's a super cute. It's got a twisted rib here, and it's held together with that drops alpaca silk in the curry colorway. But the yarn, the main color, is what I find so exciting. Is this? This is by Cheryl's the Dyer, but it's Essence of Autumn yarn, and it's on the meadow base, so it's like single ply, super fluffy. The colorway is October, but I don't think I've seen anything this dynamic. Like, look at how pretty. Like, it was a joy to knit because every once in a while you'd come across where, like, it's colors on colors on colors. Like, you've got purples in there and oranges, and it just, it reminds me of a pumpkin patch. I'm going to put it on, but only briefly because it is a little damp yet. But it's extra slouchy. So this is a worsted weight and the pattern calls for DK. So it's a little extra big. And not to mention it's still damp. It'll shrink back down. But is that not so pretty? Okay, here's my I got hair in my eye. But anyhow, I just love this. It's one of my favorite things that I've made, and I'm going to keep this. I gifted a lot of stuff last that I had made from the last podcast. Speaking of which, the Snuggle is Real and the little preemie hats arrived safely, thankfully, in Washington, although there is significant fire going on there. I was very grateful that it arrived, and my friend was able to pick it up prior to evacuation. So anyway, so that was my finished object. So that's a slipped rib hat by Jody Brown. And I've made 5 or 6 of these now, so I don't count the cost of the pattern, but I think it was somewhere between $3 and $5. And the yarn, I covered the cost on that on the last podcast, but since I didn't make any notes today, I don't remember. Sorry. Anyway, so that brings me to the bane of my existence. Seriously, this finished object, I hated every single second of knitting this. Yep, every single second of knitting this, I hated it. But when you see it, it's so amazing that it makes up for all of that. So I actually spent a whole 10 days, 10 whole days. So, and I spend maybe an hour at night on work weeks, and then like 4 hours on weekends knitting. Usually 4 hours on my days off knitting, and 1 hour every night. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't see. Can you see that? Look at that. So this is the Volt Mini Me in the size 6. So sized for an aged 6-year-old. This garment is everything I hate. As far as process goes. Okay, so number 1, the pattern is amazingly written and very easy to understand. So this is the Volt Mini Me by Sue Stratford. It was, I didn't write it down. I think it was like $7 for the pattern. And everything, so the pattern is great. The pattern is easy to understand. It's just not a type of pattern I enjoy knitting. And I'll tell you why. Number one reason why I hated this pattern. Whew, people are going to come after me. Number 1 reason why I did not enjoy knitting this pattern is it's knit in pieces. which means you knit the front panel, you knit the back panel, then you pick up around the armholes and you knit those. So it's not knit in piece, it's knit flat. And then you seam everything together. I do not like knitting in the flat because I hate to purl. I'm such a slow purler. I'm okay with purling if it's in ribbing, because I know that I only have to do that for a short period of time. But when I get into stocking net islands, I start to go a little cuckoo. My brain starts spiraling. I don't know. And then the intarsia. That is not a color work that I enjoy doing. So the intarsia, so this lightning bolt, although very, very cool. And the chart is great. It's tedious. It's just tedious. But here's some things I really like about it. So even though the pattern said to knit the sleeves flat, I did not do that because I could not be bothered to do it. Why would I? Why would I knit them flat? I don't know. But look at this cool detail on the rib of the sleeve. So you use cabling and it kind of brings it down in a triangle. And I think that's really cute, really clever. And that is echoed here at the bottom of the sweater here as well. And I'll try and get it close so you can see. Also, I used up every last I had this much left of the Lolo Did It Polyjuice Potion. Literally, it was 2 inches long. So you'll be able to see that I sewed together with some of this lime green on the seaming here, but I don't care. It's for a child. Let me see if I can show you. But I think that looks cool. I think that the way that turned out looks really cool. So that's what that cabling detail does on the side. It also brings it in. And like I said, I used up all of that Lolo Did It. So up at the neck, I ended up just using some of this black, which I think looks cool. So my daughter already wore it to school and she really likes it. I'll turn it inside out so you can see how it looks on the inside with the intarsia. But I'm so glad I knit the small version of this before I decided to knit one for myself, because I don't know if I'll knit one for myself. Although I really like this finished object for my child, this was not fun for me. And I want to have fun when I'm knitting. Knitting should be relaxing and you should enjoy it. And there's no, like, if you're just not going to enjoy it. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You can tell I got a little sick of the intarsia and I carried over my strands about midway through the lightning bolt. But the other thing too is I didn't alternate skeins on these parts here at all, or on any other part. I did not alternate skeins. So you can see the differences. But again, this is for a child. She loves it. And that's all that matters. It's extra soft and squishy though. And it's a little big on her yet. So that's great. So it'll last a long time. And I don't know. I think it's really nice. I think my child really enjoys being unique. She picked out the colors for her sweater. It was between this lime green and a bright pink. And she chose lime green, which I think goes great with the colorway. So I'll show you up close. So again, this is the Lolo Did It Polyjuice Potion. I did not do a good job picking up the sleeves though either. I'll be completely honest. I don't think I got them correctly, but that's okay. It still fits. Yeah, so you can see the variation between this skein of that and this skein. That's just natural. That's natural. Whereas in this one, you can tell I've been alternating skeins throughout. So it's pretty uniform or random or whatever you want to say. So that's where I'm at with knitting. I believe I will finish. Oh my God, I'm making so much noise. Everything's fine. I believe I will finish this sweater though. I keep touching. It's so soft, and because of the alpaca, that I'm just like continually rubbing my breasts. Anyway, in the pattern, you do not do any decreases on the arm, but I will, I think, do decreases on the arm for this. But that's all I have. As far as acquisitions go, I have my package from I can't read it because it's all in German. But anyway, so this is all of the stuff I got from Etsy. So more, this is what I need. More drops alpaca silk. Okay, I have to say, if you like mohair, that's great. It's more expensive. But this stuff is really nice, and I like it, and it does a very good job of doing the same thing. So this is that curry colorway. So I got one of those. I got 4 of the off-white, and then I got 5 in black. What am I gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I think I'm gonna use it in the As If Tee, which is a pattern I showed a couple episodes ago, which I had purchased, and I do plan on making. So I think I'll use that as like the top part. I have a couple other yarny things coming in the mail, but that's pretty much it. I am expecting to receive my first Amanda Knits Harry Potter Club, which I'm very excited about. I'm hoping to see that coming here in the next couple of weeks. But something else came in the mail, and this is my last thing that came in the mail for me. I got my hard copy of the Nomadic Knits Michigan issue. So this is really cool. I did download the digital version because when you pre-ordered it, you got the digital version. But I really like a hard copy of a book. But I'll show you the reason why I purchased it. And it'll be no surprise to anybody that the reason why I purchased it was for this pattern. Because I love Jody Brown and I like making hats. I have already made one of these Higgins Lake hats, but I really want to make in here, hold on, I was looking at it. This is riveting stuff, riveting podcast content. Me flipping through pages. And I don't want to show the pattern. So I'm going to try and find another photo of it somewhere. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I think that's gorgeous. Also, I really like that. I think that's cute. I don't know if I would wear it, but I think it's cute. Anyway, so this is only my 3rd sweater I've ever made, so me saying, I don't know if I'll wear it. I mean, what does that mean? Oh, but this one too. I really like. That seems very my speed. I like something a little oversized, a little billowy. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I did purchase a couple of PDF downloads. So, of patterns as well. And one of those was the Arachne, I think. I believe that's what it's called. And that is an Andy Satterland pattern with the spider web motif. I'm pretty sure I purchased that before I podcasted last time. I don't remember. Again, this is an issue for me. Not remembering. I tried to get in on a test knit for another sweater and I didn't. But I'm really interested. I really enjoyed test knitting some stuff previously, so fingers crossed, hopefully I'll get in on some test knits for the spooky season upcoming. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all I have. I am currently reading Women, Race, and Class, and I haven't finished it. But next time I'm on, I will share more about that. But it thus far is extremely riveting, and it's hard to believe that something written that many years ago is so relevant to today. So, anyhow, it was lovely to see you again. I got some excellent pattern suggestions for my Harry Potter colorway, and I actually did download those patterns. So thank you everybody who suggested patterns for that red and gold color that I received in my Quotable Dumbledore pack. So I'm hoping I can cast those on at some point this week after I finish this. Sorry, it's all I can talk about. It's all I'll ever talk about from now on is this sweater. But until next time, I really like you guys. And thanks for watching. Are there any other takeaways? I don't think so. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful week or 2 weeks or however long it is until I see you again. And I hope you knit. And, oh my gosh, I'm just like totally spacing. Oh my gosh, at the top of the show, I didn't tell you who I am.